Chugga 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 ch. All aboard your tech news, games, and deals caboose. We have a Fortnite giving away some free cuddle wraps for some creators entering the codes. And then we have PlayStation Now, their subscription adding 10 games. Puja is benchmarking the 9990 XE and some motherboard music. So let's jump into Fortnite games first. So they're having a Share the Love event between February 8th and 27th. So it's a pretty long event. So basically there's going to be free cuddle heart wraps basically for the version 7.4 update, which is looking like Tuesday the 12th. So you'll be able to enter a creator code and you'll be able to get these cool heart wraps, basically putting a pink target on you all over the place. So pretty cool there, I guess. And also some other little things they're doing are they're doing some overtime challenges and rewards. So if you've completed all your challenges, it looks like they're going to be adding more again, 7.4 next Tuesday. So you'll be able to get some cool other stuff to unlock, Valentine's wraps and vines. So that's good. And then Battle Pass owners, they will get some actual unlockable styles for the Trog, Powder, and onesie outfits. So you Battle Pass owners get some even cooler stuff. And then there is double XP weekends on February 15th through 17th, 22nd through 24th. That's the Friday through Saturdays. Those are 2 weekends. You'll get double XP for leveling up your Battle Pass and getting cosmetics. So cool there. And then there is a featured island frenzy from the 12th to the 22nd. So every single day they will feature a new island code. Basically you can jump in and check out some really cool, interesting designs people have been working on. So here's one of the codes that you can check out, and it's infected hide and seek. So you'll basically zombies on killing people. So get hyped for that, and then he looks like me transform, we don't know. But cool little things for that. The creative stuff is still getting pushed pretty good. And that leads us into some competitive stuff. So there's some Share the Love competition going on. There is between the 9th today and tomorrow. So this is a weekend thing that you can get in and start getting into the divisions and trying to win to get in higher divisions. And it looks like there's going to be some special sprays that you can get depending on each division that you make it through. So you'll be able to tag stuff with your spray paint. And then the finals take place on the 23rd and 24th. So probably get some cool rewards from that. So a lot of Share the Love for Fortnite going on. And then you can also link the console logins and merge Fortnite cosmetic items and V-Bucks from one account to another. So if you have 2 accounts for some reason, you can now merge them. And pretty cool. Check out that link. I'll have it in the description if you want to merge something. And then we can take a peek on what's going on in Save the World. So we have a little roadmap of what's going to happen over the next couple weeks. So on Tuesday the 12th, we get to see some AFK idle improvements, and the gold caps are being removed, and then some weapons and Dragon Fist returning. So that is just a few days away. And then version 7.4 again, the next week is going to get some Dragonfire returning and Final Frostnite challenge. Buildings beware, looks like some destruction might happen or some coldness. And then version 8, the big update, is on February 22nd, and they are revamping the hero system for Save the World. So the hero loadout is going to get a bunch of changes, and they're going to detail that even more, or they're going to actually detail it and say what's going on closer to the actual date. So that's just your weekly roadmap for Save the World. So you PvEers know what's coming. Next up, we have PlayStation Now, the February update. They added 10 games to their subscription service, which is almost at 300 games now that you can stream or download and play. The big one is Mortal Kombat 10. You can get that before the April launch of Mortal Kombat 11 with all the crazy stuff going on for launch hype for that. Metro Last Light Redux, and these are PS4 games. Earth's Defense Force 4.1, Magicka 2, and Pillars of Eternity, Rebel Galaxy. Those are all PS4 games that are now on the subscription, and there's a couple PS3 games that you can also check out as well. And you can basically, for around under $10-ish, you can basically check out these every single month. And last month they had For Honor, and it looks like these are the most played games of January. So Mafia 3, NBA 2K16, a bunch of the Elder Scrolls Online was on there. So if you are a PlayStation Now, you can check out these games and a bunch of other 200 some other games. So lots of stuff to do if you're a PS fan. And that leads us into some tech news. We have Puget System test performance for a bunch of Adobe applications, Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, Lightroom Classic, and we got some cool benchmarks. This processor is the i9-9990XE, which is a lot of nines. Should just added one more 9. But basically this is a processor that only OEMs can get, so Puget has gotten their hands on one, and it's an auction style thing, once per quarter, so it's pretty difficult to get your hands on one. I believe they might be selling them too coming up, but they're benchmarking first. So this is a 14 core, a max turbo 5.1 gigahertz. So it's actually beating the 9900K, which you obviously can overclock yourself to get even higher, but the max turbo boost is default higher. So 255 watts, again auction, and that's 14 cores versus the higher core 18 cores, but lower clock speeds. And then they actually have some benchmarks that go into really good detail for each thing they benchmark, but we're just going to look at the overall score because there's too much to go on. So basically in Photoshop, the 9900K actually does beat out the 14 core super clocked one by just a few points. So that was just pretty interesting. It looks like a little bit more single core oriented, so all the extra cores are not really helping here, it looks like. And then in Premiere Pro, if you're doing some video editing, we get to see it finally topping the chart with its massive turbo clock in 14 cores, even beating out the 18 core. So you're winning by about 20.5 points there. So you're spending quite a lot more for just a little bit of performance, and about a couple hundred points, 130 points versus the 9900K, which is around $500. So this is somewhere, I believe people were marking like way over $3,000 depending on the auction. So it could be between $3,000 and $10,000. So paying like quite a bit more than a $500 for not too much more performance here in Adobe. So you'll have to find something that uses the cores really well. So After Effects gets a 40-ish 50-point lead over the 9900K in, again, After Effects CC Creative Cloud 2019. Lightroom, we get a little bit of a boost again, and not super impressive for Adobe for how limited this actual CPU is and how expensive it's at auction, if you can even get it. So again, there's a bunch of different numbers you can look into if for some reason you do want this over-the-top processor, but pretty interesting. And thanks Puget for benchmarking crazy stuff for us. It's always cool to look at some numbers. And next up, this isn't too tech newsy, but we get to see some motherboard speaker songs basically. So this is someone doing a YouTube video. TechCrunch picked it up, and basically this motherboard can do 120 times sound, can be updated 120 times per second and produce a single tone at a time between 100 and 2000 hertz, and that is in a square wave. So let's actually listen to some of the awesome music from a motherboard speaker inside a laptop, a very old ball laptop. It's pretty interesting. And this is from Shiru 8-bit, it looks like. It's got 500 subscribers, and it's a whole 26-minute video if you want to check it out. I wonder if there's a download link that you can actually get the song from and add it to your MP3 player or something. But I believe this would probably inspire a lot of old style classic games if they're not going to do a bunch of those songs in this video. But pretty interesting. Check it out if you want to listen to some more. And with that, we will have another episode tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, along with some more tech and game news for your Sunday. With that, we will be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.